Hey everybody, Shroud here. Doing a Mirrodin 64-man draft. They're doing this winter Christmas special thing where every day they have a different old format that you can draft 64-man style. So I decided that I would participate in each of those for the week and record them. So this will be kind of an ongoing experiment. Haven't drafted this format in a really long time. So I'm pretty rusty, but we'll see if we can make it work. I recall this guy being insane, so that's kind of a tentative pick for me. Let's see. What else do we have to work with? Irradiate is good. Mirror Enforcer, good. Sky Hunter, Cub also reasonable, but you kind of have to get hooked up a little to make him work. This guard has a lot of text. Don't remember it being good. I'm going to go with this. I think that's right. Soul Nova might be better, but yeah, we'll work with this. I like blue in this format. I remember that much. And let's see. Detonate, I recall being exciting. This guy's also good. Again, you kind of have to pick equipment very high and or just get shipped good power and toughness pumping equipment to make them work. So I'd kind of like to keep my options open, particularly since I'm not so intimately familiar with all the cards anymore. But yeah, Detonate I think is the clear pick here as far as power level. Tells a lot of archers also pretty good. Blue green's kind of a weird combination in this format. But I wouldn't mind to draft it. If Detonate wasn't here, I would probably take the archers. But for now, let's just let's go with the removal. Sir Authority. It's just a super expensive counterspell. No blue cards. Sight War, pretty pointless. All right. So our options have narrowed considerably. Consume Spirit, probably the best card in the pack. It's a really heavy color commitment, and would be moving into a third color. So I'm apprehensive about that. The other options are this row of uninspiring artifact creatures. There's also a Vault of Whispers. Artifact lands are kind of weird in this format. You want them for your affinity, but also for your can't think of the name of the mechanic. In Fifth Dawn, there are a lot of rewards for having weird off-color mana. So, with there not being anything else exciting in the pack, I'm just gonna snap this up and see if it takes us anywhere. Okay. Skeleton Shard, that's a reasonable effect. Huh. Thoughtcast is not bad. Sea of the Synod, kind of good for the same reasons, although I kind of think it's a little early to be moving in on that plan. I think we can get those kind of things later. Green is open. Telljawed Exile, a good man. This card, not great, but again, making weird off-color mana has its uses. Oh, that doesn't actually make off-color mana. I'm thinking of a different card. Never mind. The card's fine, but not great. Goblin Replica is removal, and it's on color with our Detonate, so we'll run with that for now. And all of these cards, as I recall, were a little too pricey to actually be good. But this one does kill a guy in a couple of activations. 8 mana is so much, though. What else do we have to work with? That is valuable. Kind of a bad habit. Maybe not a bad habit, but just a habit that I have with this format. I tend to strongly value being able to incidentally make 4 and 5 colors so that I can get paid off with the 5/5 Skyreach manas in the last pack. So this is really tempting me. There's not a lot else that's that exciting. This also makes green. We're getting a great signal for green so far, so we might get some sweet green cards we can splash. We'll run with this for now. Leaning Denguard's pretty good to be going that late. Thoughtcast is not bad. We are actually doing pretty well as far as artifact count so far. We have the makings of a reasonable blue-based affinity deck. So, yeah, I think Thoughtcast is the pick here. Let's see. Ogre Leadfoot is a man. Pretty uninspiring man, but he's totally playable. Goblin Striker, also a man, less playable. He's not awful, though. What's this card do? Oh, that thing. Yeah, it does us no good. Tooth, not so handy a trick. The scales are a little better. Choices between Leadfoot, a Null, and a second Vault of Whispers. Yeah, let's keep our yeah. We'll keep the options open. Sweet black cards might arrive. Again, this kind of helps us diversify and keeps us open to signals. Nimlasher is he dies to everything, but if you get a lot of artifacts, he's definitely has the potential to be exciting. There's not really anything else in the pack that I particularly care about. Scale of Discoria, okay. Inertia Bubble, pretty narrow. Yeah, just an expensive counter again. Yeah, we'll go with the Nim. All right, there's a Slagworm Armor to go with the Nim. The table. That's kind of a thing. Don't have time for you right now. Go away, buddy. All right. Disciple or Slagworm Armor. Yeah, we'll go with the Slagworm Armor. It's kind of a goofy little combo, but it's totally reasonable. All right, now the options are between Regress and Scale of Discoria. Scale of Discoria looks pretty bad, but when you're worried about your artifact count, you do have to make concessions like that, and it actually is a pretty reasonable trick. It's usually free, and it can mess with combat and sneak up on people. I don't know if it's better than Regress, but I think it is, so I'm going to work with it. And random artifact guys table. This guy, expensive and clunky. This guy also expensive and clunky. I think this, given that we're playing blue, I think Cobalt Golem is probably better than Clockwork Condor. Neither is exciting, but yeah, we'll take what we're given. Low creature count so far. Yeah, Thoughtcast. That card maybe is not as good as I think it is. I was under the impression Thoughtcast should very rarely make the lap anyway. But I'll gladly take it. So yeah, those kind of tie the room together. I feel a little better about this at this point. Yeah, Chimney. No, this card I don't think does anything. Yeah, sure. We'll take the scales. We probably wait. Oh shit. Okay. Don't even know what this thing does. Huh. Sure. Very unlikely that we'll play two Scales of Discoria, but sure, why not? It's always a possibility. What do we have here? Slowbad. Don't remember this guy being all that great. So we're kind of shaping, again, keeping our options very much open. The only color we're really committed to at this point is blue. We have one reasonable black creature that we can support off of our artifacts that we'll want to play anyway. So black is a strong candidate for a second color. Detonate obviously also indicates that we want to be red. And in this type of deck, it's not uncommon to play 3 or 4 colors on the splash. So our options are pretty much wide open at this point as far as colors. Neurok Prodigy used to be insane. the M10 rules change has kind of neutered it, so I don't think it's actually better than Vidalcan Engineer or Echoing Decay at this point, or Volshock Morningstar. Morningstar's a thing. I just noticed that card. I think this card I remember being super expensive to use. Yeah, pointless. Yeah, I think Volshock Morningstar is the pick here. Could be wrong. Possible that Vidalcan Engineer is just so much better. Hey, this is an easy pick for once. This pack is loaded, incidentally. Wow, okay. Yeah, in no way am I ever not taking Fireball. That said, Leonambola is absolutely insane. And I guess there's probably a reasonable percentage of people in the 64-man that either have never drafted this block before or have only drafted it a couple times, or basically they weren't playing Magic when this block was the new block to draft. So they maybe don't realize how insane this card is, but Leonambola is very much a bomb. Morningstar is also really, really good. Chittering Rats and Quicksilver Behemoth are also cards I would be very happy to have. But Fireball. That's all I have to say about that. Alright, so kind of leaning towards red on the splash now, maybe. I don't know. Options are still wide open. We're not going to play this Dream's Grip, so let's get that out of the way now. This guy is good. I like Emissary of Despair quite a lot. Keeping with our collect artifacts, make affinity work theme, Spire Golem is a really solid creature. Darksteel Ingot is also pretty sweet. We've done a pretty reasonable job so far of kind of diversifying the mana with the two presumably off-color artifact lands, and the Talisman, which makes green. So I don't think we have to put too high a premium on the Darksteel Ingot. I think we can ship it for now. What does this card do? And nothing exciting. I don't think I have any ways to gain life anyway. So yeah, it's between Spire Golem and Emissary. Emissary is a pretty heavy black commitment. Unforged is reasonable. Yeah, let's go with the Emissary. Alright. There's an Echoing Decay. So Echoing Decay is yeah, it's removal. Obviously removal is never bad. It's not incredibly exciting removal, but there's nothing else that's really calling my name here. Dross Golem, Fear is kind of misleading in this set. Normally you would see a 3-powered evasion creature that is potentially, 3-powered evasion for 5 is a reasonable deal. You think it might even potentially be like a 3-drop. So you think this is a great deal. Fear is not that great in this block because there's so many artifacts. So Dross Golem, while playable, is not anywhere remotely as exciting as something that kills a 2-toughness creature. And yeah, nothing else to work with here. Echoing Decay it is. So we're kind of moving a little more into black. We have a double black spell, which is kind of stressful. You don't really like double colored spells in this set. At least not with the mana bases you're intending to play once you get to 5th Dawn. Here, Neurok Prodigy. Like I said, now that you can't put damage on the sack and then bounce it and still quote unquote trade with the guy, this card has lost a lot of value. It's still a cheap flyer. It's still totally reasonable. Mirrodin's Core, helpful with the 5th Dawn plan that I have been hyping so much. But yeah, I think we want to just start making creatures at this point. So far, other than the 2 Thoughtseizes, we haven't seen anything that rewards us for having a high artifact count, and that's fine. This card is totally reasonable just as a divination, so we don't have to press the affinity angle too much. Drill Skimmer is playable, but not great. What was this card? Yeah, nothing exciting. Don't know what this does either. Sure, not exciting. Yeah, the Grimclaw Bats is a cute little dude. So far we're pretty aggressive. We have a reasonable amount of flyers so far. So I think we will just want to get our bats on. Bats is pretty good with Volshock Morningstar as well. And there's another bats. Arcbound Bruiser is a reasonable body. We just have the Cobalt Golem to move his bulk over onto, so he's not really appealing to me too heavily right now. I think the second Grimclaw Bats is where we're going to be here. Okay. Kind of running out of options. This guy. I don't see that he does much in our deck. Protects our artifacts from destruction, lets us detonate non-artifacts, is a Grey Ogre. I don't know if that's better than Arcbound Hybrid. I think it is, maybe. But, yeah, we'll go with that. Again, there's not really anything cool for us to do with modular in this stack so far. So, wow, Neurotic Prodigy tabled. I mean, the card's worse. It's not that much worse, is it? I guess it kind of is. Or we have a Not Quite Hill Giant. Not Quite Hill Giant is fine as well, but it's all still unexciting. Yeah, let's keep racking up flyers. Arcane Spyglass. I feel like this card was playable as well, but doesn't really seem to fit our deck. We'll just go with the Prodigy. Yeah, Quicksilver Behemoth table. That's kind of cool. Yeah, no reason not to. Nothing better in that pack anyway. Nothing for us here. What does this do? Teach trader down. Useless. Sure. Rare draft. Why not? Still really nothing here. Does this card do anything? It's like a impulse for 2 or 3 maybe. Yeah, it's not seeing play anyway. Then again, I don't think any of these are. Sure. We'll hate the remotely playable. Yep, nothing going on here. Nothing to see. Alright, come on. Sort of thing? I don't even know at this point what rares are valuable in 5th Dawn. Shackles, I guess? I'd take a Shackles. I'd play a Shackles. I forgot about Goblin Replica. So we did have a second artifact creature, but this guy is generally eager to not be on the board. Engineered Explosives. That's a thing. Might actually be worth something. Yeah. Lunar Avenger. This guy's kind of cool, but expensive, and pretty sure Engineered Explosives is the clear pick here. Cranial Plating can be very exciting, and we've kind of put some work into making it do things. Our artifact count, we actually kind of lost. We were on track to draft Affinity there for a while, but our artifact count kind of faltered in the second pack, which is fine. So Cranial Plating would still be very good, but not good enough to take over Engineered Explosives, I don't think. Bringer of the White Dawn. What's this one do? Return artifact to your graveyard. Loop Goblin Replica. Loop Engineered Explosives. That'd be cute. Too much work. We have Skyreach Manta, which I'm almost certainly going to pick here. Condescend is playable. Wayfarer's Bauble I would be happy to have, but this guy is generally going to be a 3/3 for 5, 3/3 flyer for 5, which is a great deal in this format, and he could potentially be a little bigger. Options have kind of fallen off here. Advanced Hover Guard is a reasonable threat. We have a lot of flyers, so kind of adding to the flyer army is always a pleasing option. Fleshcrafter is pretty good. So at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 artifacts. Fill with Fright's totally playable as well. What do we have here? No, we don't have enough instance to do anything with that. Thermal Navigator, also playable, but I think Advanced Hover Guard is just the clear pick here. Trinket Mage. Trinket Mage is really good, but obviously kind of dependent on what all you can get with it. We have Slagworm armor, Engineered Explosives, and 2 Vault of Whispers. We don't even play the Slagworm armor. Trinket Mage is sweet. This pack is actually really good. We have a second Skyreach Manta, a Thought Courier. This card, I think, is also insane. Maybe. Actually, no, never mind. It's not the card I was thinking of at all. Skyreach Manta would be good. We're kind of... This is a fixer for black. Jeez, no idea what to do here. Let's work with the flyers. The flyers, rather. Alright, so another Nim thing. Super expensive Nim thing. Battered Golem, what does this guy even do? No, doesn't not appeal to me at all. Blind Creeper is fine. Blind Creeper is aggressive. Sometimes his ability is a little inconvenient, but whatever. He's a 2-drop that is generally going to be better than a Grizzly Bear, which is more than you can ask for out of a 2-drop. So we'll snatch him up. I remember Cackling Imp being kind of good. This is the weird, expensive Seal of Fire thing with Sunburst. Yeah, does not appeal to me right now. This has an 8/8 fear with a terrible drawback we don't want. This is basically a choice between 2 different 2/2 flyers for 4. I think the Imp is better. Advanced Hover Guard a little better for our mana base, but we have actually a pretty healthy amount of black cards at this point, so I think Cackling Imp is safe. And so we have 2 Skyreach Mantas, a Detonate and a Fireball that we are sort of struggling to enable at this point. We actually just have the Talisman of Impulse, so Pentide Prism is not out of the question here. The only other option, Arcbound Worker, which is unexciting. Actually, I guess the only other option is Dross Crocodile, which is really unexciting, although good with Slagworm armor. Yeah, we'll take the Prism. Anadet Lurker is a body, which at this late stage in the pack is really all you can ask for out of a card. This guy, kind of a weird, expensive one-shot piece of crap. Razorgrass green, also playable. We skipped up on the Trinket Mage, so that's a thing. Our curve is... yeah, our curve is reasonable, but getting kind of... yeah. I have no interest in a Razorgrass green. Who am I kidding? There's another Advanced Hover Guard. Sure. More flyers it is. Into Thin Air. Just a expensive unsummon usually, which is not all that exciting, although is playable. Chimera Coil's pretty crappy. Dross Crocodile. We still have the Slagworm armor. I think we're still playing the Slagworm armor, so yeah, let's just do that. Fill with Fright. Pretty much the only playable left in the pack, so that'll work for us. This is the Scrytooth thing. This was the loaded pack. Nothing came back, really. This card is sort of reasonable, I guess, as a like an alternate win condition. Yeah. Heh. Didn't matter anyway. Sure, there's that Razorgrass screen that I didn't really want. Stasis Cocoon is actually totally reasonable. Surprised to see it go 14th like that. And that wraps it up. So we'll see you all in deck building.